Hey there, awesome folks. This is Mentor Shelley, wanting to make sure that you become a better version of yourself professionally. GenZers, I know that the job market is not as easy as people make it out to be. I hear some of the critiques from you on TikTok and different places like that. And I understand that you're having some challenges. A lot of us are having challenges right now in this job market. But I want you to understand that there are ways to conquer some of these things. But I want to get real focused on what some of those things are and ways we can take the challenge head on and overcome them. All right. So I'm going to give you some time to get in here. Go ahead and like, comment, and share as you are coming in. And stay tuned, guys. Hey there, beautiful people. This is Mentor Shelley, wanting to make sure that you become a better version of yourself professionally. Go ahead as you are coming in. Go ahead and like the video, comment, say hello, say how you doing. Hey, I'm here. And of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not already done so. We are still on the road to 1,000 subscribers here on the Mentor Shelley Career Coaching channel. If you find the information on this channel helpful, or you know someone that can make use of this information to help them to become a better professional, especially in the Gen Z space, go ahead and share this channel with them and go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel yourself. Now, real job market challenges that Gen Zers are facing them, and I want to help you overcome them. There's a particular article I want to touch on to kind of get a better sense of what's going on and maybe some of the complaints or some of the things that people are speculating about you guys as Gen Zers. I want to clear it up, but I want to at least address what they are first. All right. So let's dive in here. Okay. The title of this article is Gen Z Really Are the Hardest to Work With. Even managers of their own generation say they are difficult. Instead, bosses plan to hire more of their millennials. Oh, Lord. The story was written by Orana Rosa Royal, and this is from MSNBC, MSN.com. Let's see here. All right, so let's start here. It's no secret that Gen Z often gets flack for, in the words of Sister Act star Whoopi Goldberg, not busting their behinds at work quite like the previous generation did, Gen X or millennials. Last year, Oscar-winning actress Jodie Foster complained that Gen Zers don't show up to work until 10:30 a.m., and an MIT interviewer blasted the generation for always being late. You hear the reputation already, folks. Yikes. And the viral debate popped up when one CEO vented his gripe with a Gen Z job candidate who refused to do a 90-minute task because it looked like a lot of work. Now, you do have some of your people in the generation, Gen Z, that's not helping your situation. Bosses have even started rapidly firing Gen Z employees. This is like the fourth article I've read where I've heard this particular narrative. Gen Z employees, just months after hiring them, describing many recent grads as unprepared and unprofessional. Unprepared and unprofessional. Not good, folks. But it's not just Gen Xers and baby boomers who have taken stock of how different, or rather difficult, the youngest generation of workers are. Now even Gen Z hiring managers are complaining about their own generation's work style. Resume Genius asked 625 U.S. hiring managers which generation is the most challenging to work with, and 45% pointed to Gen Z. Yikes. The generation born between 1997 and 2012. What's more, 50% of Gen Z hiring managers admitted that their own generation is the most difficult to manage. Gen Zers, they're not easing up on y'all in this article. Perhaps surprisingly, baby boomers who have been caught in their fair share of criticism, too, for not being in touch with today's workers after buying mansions in the suburbs on one wage and then refusing to retire, were voted as the easiest to manage. However, being easy to work with isn't making the oldest generation of workers any more hireable. In fact, baby boomers were cited as the last employers expected to hire. The last people employers are expected to hire, while just 4% of the hiring managers surveyed expect to hire baby boomers in the years ahead. A third admitted that they will probably end up hiring Gen Zers. So Gen Zers, make it easier for them, please. We're gonna talk about how we can make this better, okay? Despite being the most difficult generation to work with, Gen Zers are the second most likely to be hired candidate of choice. The most popular, their slightly more seasoned millennial peers, 45%. In comparison, only 14 of the hiring managers surveyed expect to hire Gen Xers in the years ahead. Ouch, I felt that. I'm a Gen Xer. How to work with Gen Z. Let's see if we have some reprieve here, folks. All right, let's see if we have some reprieve. All is not lost, folks. We're coming back. All right, all is not lost. All right, let me make sure you guys can see the full article, okay? How to work with Gen Z. The survey didn't delve into why Gen Z workers are more challenging to work with than their peers, but it's hard to ignore the fact that the latest cohort of workers came of age during the pandemic. Da, 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 da. Surprise, surprise. Not only did Gen Z miss out on major milestones, college experiences from frat parties, to literally tossing their graduation caps in the air, because a lot of them ended up graduating remotely. Let's be clear. My nephew was one of them. But they also didn't get to taste the world of work through summer internships before diving into the job market. Yeah, so we have to also, we also have to have understanding for them as well, folks. It's why employers are now giving graduates extra training to get them up to speed. Excuse me. Now, take the world big consulting firms. Deloitte, PwC, KPMG, and EY are all offering incoming junior hires soft skills training, which is something that you would pick up as you are, working in entry-level jobs and things of that nature. They're all offering incoming juniors soft skills training, including lessons on how to speak up in meetings. It's wholly understandable that students who missed out on face-to-face activities during COVID may now be stronger in certain fields, such as working independently, and less confident in others, such as presentations to groups. Ian Elliott, Chief People Officer of PwC UK, said in sympathy with young workers. Plus, COVID-19 isn't entirely to blame for management struggles with Gen Z. As Resume Genius survey suggests, workers get easier to manage with age. While 45% of those surveyed described Gen Zers as the most challenging to work with, this dropped 26% for millennials, 13% for Gen Xers, and 9% for baby boomers. In the end, being difficult is probably just another rite of passage. After all, millennials will remember being labeled as work-shy snowflakes before climbing the corporate ranks into management and putting the heat on Gen Z. We did it to the millennials too, as a Gen Xer. I'm just going to be honest. So, do you What do Gen Zers want from work? But instead of trying to wrestle with making the youngest generation of workers easier to manage, the research authors suggest businesses bend to Gen Z. Some businesses are willing to do it, some not so much. Gen Z has already shaken things up, but they're not here to break things. They're bringing a unique blend of talent and bold ideas that can rejuvenate any workplace, wrote Jeffrey Scott, the senior HR manager at Resume Genius. For example, according to research, Gen Z managers are most likely to make hiring decisions based on what candidates put down as hobbies and interests on their CV or resume over professional experience. And Gen Z employees tend to put their social beliefs front and center when choosing a workplace, with half saying that they would turn down a job that doesn't align with their beliefs. That's all well and good if you're in a position to do that, but if you need to work, you need to work. Gen Zers might have a bad rap, but they have the power to transform workplaces for the better, Scott concluded, if they approach the situation with class, gumption, and a few other things. All right, guys? Now, Gen Zers, I'm not beating up on you. I'm reading the article. The article kind of did that a little bit. I'm not going to front. They did. And it's not fair for them to just jump to conclusions based on their limited experience with you guys. At the same token, I want you guys to understand sometimes it is best to not jump to conclusions, whether it's employers that are jumping to conclusions or it's others. So it just depends. Now, one of the things that Gen Zers may be experiencing is a balancing act of sorts. The authenticity versus the professionalism balancing act. I did a video a couple weeks ago about Gen Zers hiding their authentic selves at work because at the end of the day, at which I don't have an issue with, because at the end of the day, you're there to work. And sometimes personally, it has to make sense for me. No, sometimes you just got to go to work, do your job, and keep it pushing. All right? So now, authenticity versus the professional balancing act. The eternal question. Can I show my tattoos in the office? In some cases, that might not be a good idea. All right? Do you really have to speak in corporate jargon? Gen Zers you guys are about authenticity. But the workplace isn't always a place. And I will also caution you, Gen Zers, please do not make complaints about your current or past employer on TikTok. Employers are looking for that stuff now. Well, they've been looking for it for the last 10 to 15 years. More like 20 for LinkedIn and other places. So please, if you have a grievance, unless there are laws being broken, please do not air your negative opinions online, because that lives online forever, believe it or not. So it's important to maintain professionalism in all places, because that can come back to hurt you in the long run. Ways to conquer it, right? The challenge is, companies say that they want authentic employees, but when they don't fit this mold per se, because you're authentic until you go against the company culture. So what I'm also going to expect Gen Zers to do is this. Okay, understand the culture that you're in, all right? Understand your work culture, okay? Understand your work culture. But I also want you to make sure you research the company before you apply. Look for places that actually, That's dwindling by the day based on what's going on in 2025. Look for places that actually embrace diversity and, and individuality, not just in their marketing, but in how they actually hire, their hiring decisions, who makes up their senior leadership. That'll show on some of their websites or some of their LinkedIn profiles, things of that nature. You have to be strategically authentic and make sure that it is still professional. You still have to maintain professionalism, guys. You cannot think that you can go to work and be unprofessional. Yeah, it's authentic, but authenticity needs to fit in the professional space. You have to understand that there is a delicate balance, right? But you also have to make sure that you are using your common sense with that. Okay. And you also have to remember that even though you are an employee at that company, you also have to make sure that you're elevating your professional branding. What do I mean by that? You're like, professional branding, what do you mean? What are you posting on LinkedIn? What are you posting on Facebook that has your government name on there? Let me specify. Whatever social media has your actual government name, what are you putting on there? Is it representing you well? Is it representing you from a professional space? Okay. Make sure you're elevating your professional branding, not just, I'm saying this labored, not just what you think about XYZ, but making sure your professional branding is representing you well and it can help you get another job. Because if it's not doing that, it's not giving what it's supposed to give, and it's not doing what it's supposed to do. Okay. Number 2, AI and automation can put you out of a job. That is a true fact, not just for GenZers, but for every last one of us in the job market. In some way, shape, or form, there's going to be AI takeover in certain situations. The challenge is competing with humans and robots for jobs. Nobody likes that. But you can use it to your advantage. And depending on what area or what industry you're in, you may be able to, number one, skill up, learn about AI, use AI to benefit your situation, use AI to help you elevate in your career and in the job market and in the current job you're in. Use AI to your advantage. Do not allow AI to take over as far as what your job prospects are. If it means you have to go get a certification to help yourself, do it. Okay? AI and automation, and you could be out of a job. Lord have mercy. How to conquer that, as I just said. Do. Can I say it one more time? One more time from the back, the front, or the side. What do you do if AI has now, that may be an issue? Upskill. Udemy, Skillshare, Coursera. Have you heard me name those places? Go to those websites. Start learning about which AI you want to focus on. Start taking some classes. Start getting some certifications, folks, so you can put yourself in a better position economically. Don't let AI master you, master it. Okay? Upskill. And also, right? Upskill. What do you also want to do? Start learning on your own. It doesn't have to be a specific, it doesn't have to be a certificate, but start using those AI tools. Tech savvy wins the race, folks. Start getting familiar with Slack and Trello. AI platforms like ChatGPT And there's a new one out there that the Orient just came out with. What's the name? DeepSeek. Start learning about how to use them and use them to your advantage. Do not allow AI to take over. Learn about them so you can use them as well. Okay, another challenge that sometimes GenZers may face, right? Ghosting and the job application black hole. There's nothing we can do about this, folks. The only thing that we can do is move on to the next job application, okay? We can't do anything about that. Sometimes they have automated responses when we apply to these jobs. Sometimes they don't. What can we do? We can move on. We can get over it. We can keep pushing because we do not control anything that they do. Okay? If you submit a resume and you're confident and you could do the perfect cover letter, which is also something that I help you guys with at mentorshelley.com/resumes. I do have a resume and cover letter consultation available. If you need help with structuring your resume as a young Gen Zer, you can also check out the free resource on that page as well. I do have a resume guide on there at mentorshelley.com/resumes. Let me put that up there so you have it. Let's see here. Yeah. Let me see here. It's mentorshelley.com/resumes. You can obtain either my resume guide or schedule your resume consultation with me. You want me to do it for you, or if you want to use the guide to do it yourself. All right. Sometimes you guys, you apply for these positions and you put the resume together, you put the cover letter together, and then silence. Nobody responds to you. Staying motivated means that you have a determination and a mindset to keep going. What do you do to conquer this? Keep going. Start networking if you haven't already done so. We talk about networking on this channel all the time. Network like a pro, okay? Whether it's online or it's offline. Start joining industry. And when I say industry type of groups, I mean, if you are into horticulture, find your local gardening group on meetup.com. They talk about gardening. They talk about the soil. They talk about the treatments that they give their plants. They talk about all things plants, all things gardening, all things nursery, all of that stuff. If that's what you're into and that's the industry you work in, those are places to go so you can find out maybe what nursery is hiring or who has opportunities available. But you got to be in the mix. Network like a pro. All right. Okay. Another way to overcome the challenge of applying for jobs and not hearing back everything and not hearing back anything because we have no control over how they respond. The only control we have is over ourselves and our reactions. Tailor every application. Yes, you have to tailor your resume. You have to tinker with it. Tailor your resume, right, to fit the job that you're applying for because you have to get through the ATS system. And I actually have another video that I'll be doing in the next few days talking about how to get past the ATS system. Get past that bot so you can get your application through to the human that is going to call you for an interview. All right, we'll talk about that as well, Gen Zers. So tailor everything, okay? Make sure that when you're applying, it's customized to that particular application and that job description so it can go through. And of course, what you can do if you don't hear back anything is like any professional person, whether you're working in business for yourself or you are a professional, a career professional, follow up without being annoying. It means sending an email or giving them a call if you have not heard anything, because you applied, but you haven't heard anything. So there's nothing wrong with following up. Even though you try not to be annoying, sometimes you come off annoying because, God forbid, people will be people. You're calling them and they think that you're bugging them, but you're being professional and you're following up if you haven't heard anything. You're applying, you're applying, you're applying, but make sure that you follow up as well. So, although you might have applied for a job and you feel like you got ghosted, right? Make sure you have the right resume. And of course, if you need help in that area, go ahead and go to mentorshelley.com/resumes. You can either schedule your resume consultation if you want me to do that, plus the cover letter, or you can download the guide at mentorshelley.com/resumes if you want to use that free guide to do it yourself. All right. Start networking like a pro and start talking to people in that industry, or in general, people that are in this wonderful little nifty phone here. All right. Make sure you can you talk to them and say, hey, how you doing? I'm in the market. I'm open and I'm in the market for opportunities. Do you know, is anyone looking for XYZ in XYZ field? If not, no problem. If you hear anything, just give me a call and follow up with those people. All right, they're in your network. They know you, they like you, they trust you. They'll recommend you, or they'll put you in touch with someone that they know have opportunities. That's why networking is important, not just with new people, but people you already know. And of course, tailor everything. Make sure you're contouring that resume to the job that you're applying for. Make sure the skills that they're looking for in that job description is also communicated on your resume. All right. 2, follow up without being annoying. Okay, do not annoy these people, but make sure that you're following up. That is what you can control, because the ghosting piece, you can't control it. That is, unfortunately, what can happen. So you do have some challenges, right, in the job market, but you can certainly win. And I want to make sure you have what you need to win. Okay? You may be going through some challenges, you may be experiencing some challenges, but you can win. And I want you to be able to do that. As GenZers, I understand that you guys, especially you guys, are the ones that are going through. When I was coming up, boy, I wish I had a me when I was coming up, because that made life, it would have made life so much easier. But because I fumbled and I went through the nonsense, right? The absolute nonsense of trying to figure out how to do a resume on my own, how to how to go on interviews and not mess up, and not learn until much later on in my young career how to actually negotiate salaries, how to put a proper resume together, what to do, how to network, things of that nature. So I have taken the guesswork out of it for you, Gen Zers, and I want you guys to be able to not have to deal with my wahala or my nonsense. And I want you to be able to experience a little bit less of a challenge, or instead of experiencing, taking on what I had to experience, go ahead and take advantage of my mistakes by going to mentorshelley.com/book. That is, let's see here. That is my book that is going to be able to help you from clueless teenager to consummate professional, 7 steps to getting the career and economic life you want. It will definitely help you to overcome a lot of the job market challenges. It does have resume it does have resume examples in there. It also has cover letter examples in there, and it has a few more correspondence like thank you letters and other types of correspondence as you are, and also some salary negotiation skill sets that you can pick up when you read them, some strategies in there for salary negotiation. You also have, let's see here, there are also some career planning at the beginning of that book as well. So go ahead and grab that guide as well. mentorshelley.com/book. You can pick up this from Clueless Teenager to Consummate Professional. Okay. Also, if you're looking maybe to work with me one-on-one to get your career strategy together, not just to go ahead and grab that resource, but you want to make sure that your career strategy is on point, specifically tailored to you, or you want us to work together to put that together for you. You can go to mentorshelley.com/consultations, where we can work together to get your particular career strategy on, underway, and be able to have your next 5 years mapped out from soup to nuts. And all you have to do is take action. All right, guys. Of course, if you have additional questions, feel free to touch base with me at mentorshelley.com/contact. I have no problem with responding, as long as you, the question that you have won't take me more than 5 minutes. Outside of that, go ahead and schedule a consultation. All right, guys. I want to make sure you have you have a chance to become a better professional. Go ahead and learn from my mistakes. Grab the book, From Clueless Teenager to Consummate Professional, as GenZers. So some of these job market challenges that you are facing can subside with that information, with that resource in hand. All right, guys, this is Mentor Shelley, wanting to make sure that you become a better version of yourself professionally. As you're leaving, go ahead and like the video, comment, and share. I didn't get to touch the chat tonight, but I want to make sure you have what you need to become a better professional. So go ahead and like the video, share this information with GenZers that you care about, that you want to do well in the job market. All right, guys, take care. This is Mentor Shelley, wanting to make sure you become a better version of yourself professionally. GenZers, you can do it as long as you use the resources and exhibit what great talent and what great innovations you have for the job market as you infiltrate it. All right, guys, take care. You have a good one.